Star Wars Outlaws is on the cusp of release here, depending on the edition that you get, depending on what you sign up for. You're going to have it in the next couple of days, or you're going to have to wait until the end of the week to see other streamers and other influencers playing it, because I don't imagine a lot of people are going to be imbibing in this, well, just generic UB slop, because what we're seeing right now, this quadruple A experience that they're offering isn't exactly up to snuff on multiple levels, but it sits in a unique situation for multiple different companies attached to this abomination. It's not quite the biggest black eye for Star Wars this year because, well, the Acolyte exists, and when it comes to Ubisoft, I don't think it's going to lose as much money. I just don't think it possibly can lose as much money as Skull and Bones, or even be as much of a reputational hit as Assassin's Creed Shadows is going to be. So this could end up being one of those disasters that just, after a couple of days of pointing and laughing at the slow kid, it really just drifts away into obscurity and nobody remembers it by the time the promotion cycle for Ass Creed Shadows rolls around with a new hip-hop beat for Yasuke to twerk to. But all in due time, talking about this, we gotta revel in the cringe that we have on display right now, and in the words of the great and powerful Admiral Akbar, this is a trap. It's paraphrasing. I'm not that silly. I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan, but I know it's a trap. Kind of like how Darth Vader never says, "Luke, I am your father." It's "No, I am your father." But anyways, you know, to establish our nerd cred first and foremost. But Ubisoft sets the box price high to encourage you see their subscription service as a good deal, because yeah, exactly, you got this consumer that's down there with a subscription, okay, of only $17.99 per month. You can get on day one of release the base game, the pre-order bonus, 3 days early access, the season pass, and then you can get all of the day one DLC that should be available with the base game. But don't worry about that. Instead of dropping $130 on the Ultimate Edition, you can rent all of that stuff for a month for $17, which, to be completely honest, you'll probably be able to experience everything that's on display for, yeah, that 1 month that you're going to be signed up for. But I also hear that Ubisoft Plus, whatever garbage they want to call it at this point in time, I am old enough to remember when it was called Ubisoft Connect, but I'm sure they make it purposefully convoluted in order to discontinue your subscription. I remember there was a time back, a couple years ago, I ended up getting most of my PC accounts, which is so stupid as to why you need to have so many different third-party DRM usernames and passwords that are out there, but ended up, yeah, losing access to my EA account, a couple of other accounts, including Ubisoft, and EA was actually pretty good, okay, all things considered. And for all the bad stuff that they put out into the gaming ecosphere, you would anticipate them being bad. But hey, when it came to customer service, actually pretty decent. Steam's obviously the best, you know, dealing with them, you know, has always been a fantastic experience. And I've actually never had a bad time dealing with Sony. They've been pretty good too. But when it came to dealing with Ubisoft, jumping through hoops, auto dialers, robot, AI customer service, bots on their site trying to get to an actual agent or a real human customer service representative, it was so befuddling. And I think I had to find a workaround because they wouldn't help me out in any form or fashion. Ubisoft has been trash for a while, even though I've liked some of their games. It's just some of those games haven't come out in the past decade or so. It's been a minute since I've actually actively enjoyed a Ubisoft game, and well, when we take a look at what's going on with Outlaws, well, that ain't it, because even IGN, right, for as much of a concerted effort that they have in regards to making sure that the monkey game, you know, the one that was still out here breaking records over the weekend, didn't look as good as advertised. Because as you can see, even through gritted teeth, you know, they gave the game an 8, and well, you know, you can take a look at the concurrent player records over the weekend. I haven't, you know, refreshed my memory, but I'd imagine that, you know, they've probably done exceptionally well. Even they had to admit that Star Wars Outlaws isn't as good, and if you recall, you know, like a 7 from IGN basically means that this is bargain bin trash. There really is no save in this, and just their little blurb lets you know exactly what it's all about. Star Wars Outlaws is a fun intergalactic heist adventure with great exploration, but it's hindered by simple stealth, repetitive combat, and a few too many bugs at launch. What do you mean, a few too many bugs at launch? Could that just potentially be intensely poor optimization? Because I don't know what it's like to run on, peasant plastic boxes or anything like that, okay? But on PC, if you're rocking a 4090, the high-end graphics card, you're getting 20 to 30 FPS on ultra settings? Like, what? Bro, you're pushing a $2,000 graphics card to its absolute limit, and you're getting 30 FPS? Brother, this thing is trash from toes to titties, and that's what even some of the most ardent Star Wars fans, that's what even some of the most milquetoast reviewers are coming to the conclusion of, because here you have Mr. Matty Plays. Okay, like I've said before, I kind of like the Last Stand Media crew, but when it comes to their full-throated critiques of video games, they're awfully tepid on a bunch of their responses, okay? If they don't like a game outside of, like Bradley Ellis saying that Concord was absolute garbage in as many words, they're pretty light when it comes to their criticism. And, Maddie is also a co-host on their Xbox exclusive podcast, so he's fairly light, and especially when it came to the criticism of the different bombs that Microsoft had last year, not exactly the toughest critic. I'm not saying that he's a shill by any means. Like I said, I like the Last Stand Media guys, and I think that they're soft but fair. And even Matt comes out and, well, kind of savages the game in as much as he will. I reviewed Star Wars Outlaws, and I'm bummed to say that it didn't jive with me as a massive Star Wars fan. Andromeda level emotion capture, which for me, the moment that I seen this, and I don't really need any of the music, but you can tell, just like, why your hair moving like that? And that right there, that close-up shot, that reminds me of the game that nearly snuffed out. Actually, it did for the better part of a few years. My love for a hobby that I've dedicated thousands of hours and thousands of dollars to. And that looks far too familiar. Constantly forced and frustrating stealth segments without a proper mechanics to support it. And we'll get to that. Huge missed opportunity with the reputation system that is extremely easy to manipulate. Go figure. So Ubisoft pilfered an old BioWare mechanic. They couldn't even make it work. Cool. Nyx is cute and the world looks pretty solid. Oh, fantastic. The little Chewbacca stand-in is supposed to be the best selling point. Hopefully have a Disney Plus active subscription so that you can get that really cool skin, with the blue electrical tape around its tail. But, that right there is supposed to be your main character? Yeah, that'd be something. That would be somebody that I would run away from if they came up to me on the street because I was thinking I was about to get mugged for some crack money. What's wrong with her face, bro? This is like, and then this guy over there wearing a trash bag. Like, what? Gross. Like, Star Wars, ladies and gentlemen, Star Wars in 2024. That's the best of what we got on display, okay? Because as you can see, the AI, she's a bit shit, in case you didn't hear. But you see one of the stormtroopers just rolling up out of nowhere, shooting not at the person they're supposed to, but what is going on? And he's not even shooting any blaster bolts. Like, does he actually have like a real revolver? And oh no, and then only one person out of the squad actually takes the initiative to go after the main character in the game. There's a few problems that I can see right there. Obviously, is this the Gollum for Star Wars? But talking about Lord of Ring Gollum, that's the greatest game of 2023. You keep that game's name out your mouth. It's not even appropriate to use, but it's getting pretty close. Getting close, all things considered, because this is something that should be liable to see in Gollum. We can just go ahead. I guess she's wearing her Han Solo costume in this one, but this is in a restricted area, and this is how you do the stealth sections, right? And as you can see, sneak up behind, and oh no, the big stealth on that one where, hey, I guess that would really help you out quite a bit in these Ubisoft games where normally in order to distract the other people that you're trying to knock out in a stealth way, you'd have to throw rocks in order to look in another direction when you sneak around. But this one around here, I guess they just cut out the middleman by just transporting you behind the next person that you're supposed to take out. It's just not that elegant when you're sliding around the stage, but it somehow looks more believable than in that 10-minute slice of gameplay that we seen last month that people were trying to say that you're being too harsh on because, oh, that's not representative of the final product. And, well, here's the final product. This game's not going to be good, guys. It's really not going to be good. A handful of players have discovered another ridiculously bad bug in Ubisoft's Star Wars Outlaws that sees the player character Vess slide across the game's map after attempting a stealth assassination. That's what we just played right there. User Okami13 shared the video of the bug, writing Star Wars Outlaws needs a few patches to deal with the bugginess. Kind of hard to do stealth stuff when this happens. Hilariously, after Vess is dragged across the game and discovered by NPCs, she fires around a half-dozen blaster bolts into one enemy that seemingly do no damage. Oh no, that was cut off. Oh no. However, second after Vess kicks a Rodian and appears to kill it. Oh, okay, another alien is then killed with a single headshot. Fantastic. These game-breaking bugs come in the wake of Ubisoft's Q1 sales report that calls for the company CEO Yves Guillemot and Chief Financial Officer Frederic Duguay, name's Duguay, huh? Now we're asked if the game would be delayed after it received negative feedback regarding its graphics and AI detection on 10 minutes of gameplay video uploaded on IGN's YouTube channel, which, yeah, we went through before. And brother, it ain't looking that good, okay? And especially now that we're closer to the game's release, because it's supposed to drop, right? The 30th? So, oh, okay, cool. Maybe today, later today, if you get those 3 days of early access, we're going to be seeing a whole lot more bugs. Oh, that's going to be fun. But this is not the first time, players have discovered disastrous bugs in the game. Manga Lawyer shared a video at the end of July that showed at least one NPC turning his back on Vess, running in a circle instead of just killing her. And yeah, we've seen, even when the takedowns are successful, her slapping a stormtrooper in the back of the helmet, and that clearly knocking him out. Not exactly a great first impression that we've seen from this game. And now that the review class has had the opportunity to play the game, they're not even saying great things about it. I think Metacritic right now has it sitting at a comfy 77. And if all of this stuff ends up boring out to be true, from its poor performance to its laborious gameplay and its dismal graphics, I could see that being the high watermark, and it's just going to be another black eye for Ubisoft and Star Wars in 2024. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.